Hello there guys, welcome to one of my videos. On this video tonight, I am going to be giving you a preview for the Manchester United Southampton game at Old Trafford, Monday night, 8 o'clock kickoff. Earlier on today, I give you my reaction to Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's press conference ahead of the game. Now, I think, we are going to win this game against Southampton. It won't be an easy game though, because Southampton have been in a good vein of form recently. I think they are unbeaten in their last 3 league games. They recently drew with Everton 1-1. They also beat Manchester City, did Southampton. And earlier on in the season, Southampton were in a bad vein of form. And at one point, it looked like Southampton were going to, get relegated. Don't forget, they had that 9-0 thrashing at home to Leicester earlier on in the season. And it also looks like Ralph Hasenhüttl was going to get sacked as Southampton manager. But since that 9-0 defeat to Leicester, they've really improved as Southampton. I think they are sitting 12th in the Premier League at the moment. I think Southampton's expectations will be to finish mid-table. Now, of course, the game at St Mary's early on in the season between us and Southampton was 1-1. The game at Old Trafford last season was 3-2 to Manchester United. By the way, we are unbeaten in our last 8 games against Southampton, so we have got a pretty decent record against them. I think the last time we lost to Southampton was back in 2016 under the Louis van Gaal era. Southampton, have got some good players. Obviously, they've got Danny Ings. He's been in scintillating form for them this season. I think Danny Ings has got 19 goals this season for Southampton. They've also got Nathan Redmond, who I highly rate. They've also got Stuart Armstrong. They've also got James Ward-Prowse. They've got Ryan Bertrand. So they have got some pretty good attacking players of Southampton. I think they've also got a few injuries as well of Southampton. But yeah, I'm very convinced that we will win this game. And if we do beat Southampton on Monday, we will extend our unbeaten run to 18 games in all competitions. Because as it stands at the moment, we are unbeaten in our last 17 games in all competitions. And we are unbeaten in our last 10 league games. Now, some more positive news. Chelsea have lost today by 3-0 against Sheffield United. As it stands at the moment, we are just 2 points behind Chelsea and we are only 1 point behind Leicester. But Solskjaer, recently did demand maximum points. He says we've got to win all our remaining games if we do want to finish in that top 4. We've got to win all our remaining games. And Solskjaer was recently talking about the importance of Champions League qualification. Us getting Champions League qualification, does that make an impact on our transfer business? There's still a great chance, we could finish 3rd. We can also win 2 trophies this season. That's the FA Cup and the Europa League. We are into the semi-finals of the FA Cup. We have got Chelsea. I'm really looking forward to that game. And we're more or less into the last 8 of the Europa League because we are 5-0 up against Lask from the first leg. But if we win the Europa League anyway, we'd get automatic qualification for the Champions League. So if we won the Europa League, then obviously, we wouldn't need to finish in the top 4. But I think, we will win. We will win at least 1 trophy. Because we haven't won a trophy since 2017. And that was the Europa League and the League Cup under Jose Mourinho. We won the FA Cup back in 2016 under the Louis van Gaal era. So, we have lacked silverware in the last 7 years or so. But yeah, we will finish the season on a high and I think we can go unbeaten for the remainder of the season. I really do believe this. We can go unbeaten for the remainder of the season. I think in this game against Southampton, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is going to go with an unchanged team. In the last 4 league games, Solskjaer has gone with the exact same team. He's gone with the exact same team. And if he is to go with the same team against Southampton on Monday, it will be the first time we've gone with the same team in 5 games since February 1993. Like I said, we did very well in the Aston Villa game recently. We're beating them by 3-0. Aston Villa. You know, Mason Greenwood got his name on the score sheet yet again. Mason Greenwood's on 16 goals this season for Manchester United. 16 goals this season. Solskjaer's been talking a lot about Mason Greenwood recently. You know, he said in his press conference today, that Man United will not be worried about burning out Mason Greenwood, because some people think, you know, Solskjaer is overplaying him because he has been starting a lot recently, but he is my preference over Daniel James. You know, he's definitely the foreseeable future for Man United. And Solskjaer also said recently that Mason Greenwood is ready to play in the England senior squad. And he also said that he's a better finisher than Wayne Rooney was at the same age. And he's only, 18 or 19 is Mason Greenwood, but very, very effective on that right-hand side. You know, and I think he'll start this game as well against Southampton. Also, you know, Bruno Fernandes, he obviously, you know, scored in the game against Aston Villa. He scored in the game against Villa, which was very, very good to see. You know, I think that's now Bruno Fernandes' 8th goal for Manchester United since, you know, his arrival from Sporting Lisbon in January. And definitely, you know, Bruno Fernandes has made the difference in the team. And he's like 2 players in one, is Bruno Fernandes. And, you know, we got him in a deal with £65 million with add-ons included. When we got him in January from Sporting Lisbon, I think Fernandes signed, was it a 5 or a 5.5 year deal at the club. And I think he won Premier League Player of the Month for June. I think he also won Premier League Player of the Month for February, you know, reflecting on his good run of performances. And I said, you know, Paul Pogba, you know, he scored in the 3-0 win against Aston Villa. That was his first goal for Manchester United this season. And his first goal since April 2019. And, you know, like I said, you know, since the resumption of the season, Paul Pogba has done really, really well for us. Earlier on in the season, I didn't really have a perception on Paul Pogba because obviously, you know, he was out with that ankle injury. You do know the news regarding him, don't you? Because I give you the news on Pogba recently. You know, reportedly we've been in negotiations with Mini Raiola, Pogba's agent, over extending Paul Pogba's contract at the football club. As it stands now, Pogba's got just under a year left on his current contract, but the club do have an option to extend it for a further year. But Solskjaer wants Paul Pogba to commit his long-term future with Manchester United. And I think Paul Pogba now wants to stay at the football club. But at one point it was looking very imminent he was going to be leaving Man United, but I think his combination with Bruno Fernandes has been absolutely exceptional. We should have won by more than 3 against Aston Villa because you had Wan-Bissaka that missed that sitter, headed wide. You had Anthony Martial that obviously, you know, hit the crossbar in that game. But it was a very, very dominant performance, and I think, you know, we will continue this dominance up, you know, and I think we're definitely, you know, going to beat Southampton. Like I said, reflect on that win against Aston Villa. We've become the first team to win 4 consecutive games. By 3 or more goals. So we've become the first team in Premier League history to do this. You saw my reaction to Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's press conference. Obviously, you know, Jack Charlton was mentioned at the beginning of the press conference because he's died at the age of 85. Obviously, you know, Solskjaer, you know, did say he will be missed. Also, too, Solskjaer said Manchester United's plans for next season, our transfer strategy and our pre-season plans are up in the air because of the uncertainty of how the current campaign will finish. I think qualification for the Champions League for us, you know, will decide, you know, what's going to be happening in the summer transfer window. I'm actually, you know, unsure what our transfer budget will be for the summer transfer window, but I think a lot of clubs are unsure what their transfer budgets are going to be. Solskjaer's already confirmed his transfer priorities. He's told Ed Woodward, like, the 3 positions he wants to strengthen up. He said he wants to recommend a striker in, he wants to recommend a right winger in, and he's also looking to recommend a centre-half in because there is still deficiencies in the squad that do need to be addressed in that. But yeah, I think we're going to spend some money in the summer transfer window. The other month, our financial figures had been revealed and it said our net debt had risen up almost £130 million. And I think now our net debt is just over £429 million. Woodward had revealed this the other month. Ed Woodward did say the other month that we will remain competitive in the summer transfer market, but he did say we won't do business as usual in the summer transfer market. So he did rule out big transfers to Manchester United. But we're looking to make around 2 or 3 signings in the summer transfer window. So he said this during his press conference. Solskjaer also, spoken about Marcus Rashford like he updated you on. He said he's been very, very happy with Marcus Rashford since the resumption of the season. Marcus Rashford was out earlier on in the season with a back injury. And he was out for a while. And definitely Marcus Rashford is the foreseeable future for Manchester United. I think he's also been recently speaking about Bruno Fernandes. He also mentioned, I think, Southampton as well. He said, Southampton, a pretty good team now. They've got a good manager in Ralph Hasenhüttl. So Solskjaer knows it will not be an easy game. He, knows that and that. But yeah, like I said, he's going to go, I think, with the exact same lineup. We've only got 2 injuries, and that is Phil Jones and Alex Tuanzebe. So he's going to go, in this game against Southampton, he's going to go with David De Gea, obviously, in goal. A lot of Man United fans are convinced that David De Gea is going to remain our #1 goalkeeper for next season. Solskjaer was talking about Dean Henderson the other week, and he said that Dean Henderson is not yet ready to become Man United's #1 goalkeeper, but he did say he expects Henderson to become England's #1 and Man United's #1 goalkeeper in the future. So it probably means the foreseeable future, the Solskjaer one, regarding Dean Henderson. Dean Henderson's going to be staying at Sheffield United for the remainder of the season. This has been his 2nd season on loan with Sheffield United. I've got to make an admission, he has been Sheffield United's player of the season as Dean Henderson. He really, really has. He's had other loan spells as well, like I said, with Stockport, Grimsby and Shrewsbury. We got Dean Henderson from Carlisle back in 2011. We got him as a 14-year-old. Dean Henderson said he'd sign a new contract with us, but only providing that he can be assured to be our #1 goalkeeper for next season, but I don't see that happening. So yeah, De Gea, will remain in goal, against Aston Villa. That was David De Gea's 399th appearance for the club. 399th appearance for the club. So he's now overtaken Peter Schmeichel on appearances. Solskjaer did say though, didn't he, that David De Gea is still regarded as one of the best goalkeepers in the world. And he said he's been the best goalkeeper in the world for the last 9 or 10 years. This has been David De Gea's 9th season at Man United. He's approaching his 10th year now at the football club. I think looking at it, David De Gea's had 7 good years out of the 9 years he's been here, because in the last couple of years, David De Gea has been a liability, reflecting on the calamitous mistakes he has made. So yeah, he will remain our #1. Obviously, we'll go with Pisaka at right back. Pisaka's enjoyed a very, very good first season for Man United. He's showed some good attacking intent recently. He's got into some very good crossing positions and has had some great chances of his own. We'll go with Lindelof and Harry Maguire at the back. They're obviously our first choice centre-halves. And I think, they've mainly done very, very well. We're going to go with Luke Shaw at left back, because Luke Shaw is obviously our first choice left back. And I think he will remain our first choice left back, maybe for next season as well. I think he'll go with Pogba and Matic in that midfield. Pogba and Matic in that midfield. Fernandes in number 10, Rashford on the left, Greenwood on the right, and Martial up top. So that's obviously that's my predicted 11, and it's the same lineup as what we've gone with in the 4 previous games and all of that. But yeah, so we need to make signings in the summer transfer window. Solskjaer has already revealed his plans for the summer transfer window. Don't forget, he says he wants to avoid buying any rotten apples in the summer transfer window. So he warned our players a few weeks ago that he will not tolerate any rotten apples in the squad. So this is something Solskjaer has confirmed. By the way, I want to give you some news on Jadon Sancho from Borussia Dortmund. Borussia Dortmund's demands for Jadon Sancho have now been confirmed, and I think this is stemming from the Manchester Evening News. I've just read up and it says that Borussia Dortmund are demanding that they want around €130 million for Sancho, which is around 116 million in pound sterling. Which is around 116 million in pound sterling. So, this is what, Borussia Dortmund are demanding for the player. There's still a great chance, that Jadon Sancho, could come to Manchester United. He is our number one priority target. But, we've said on several occasions we are not willing to smash our transfer record for Jadon Sancho. I think we have confirmed that we are not willing to pay any more than the £89 million that we did pay for Paul Pogba. I think it said we're only willing to pay 60 or 70 million pounds for Jadon Sancho, but that's not going to be enough, to convince Borussia Dortmund to offload him. It recently said that we was only willing to pay £50 million for Sancho. Don't forget, Borussia Dortmund want to resolve their finances because they did lose £40 million because of the coronavirus pandemic. And Borussia Dortmund did recently say that they are looking for replacements for Jadon Sancho because they've come to accept the facts now that Jadon Sancho does want to leave. It recently said, that we're planning to sell 6 players to fund the move for Jadon Sancho. And I think the 6 players we're going to put up for sale, or we have already put up for sale, I think is Smalling, Jones, Dalot, Lingard, Pereira, and I think Alexis Sanchez. Well, I think that's what it said anyway. I think that's what it said anyway. And it said not too long ago that the deadline for Jadon Sancho has been set. And it says we've got until the 10th of August to sign Jadon Sancho, or Jadon Sancho to Manchester United is off. But Jadon Sancho did reveal if he leaves Borussia Dortmund, his preferred option is a move to Manchester United. Don't forget, quite a few weeks ago, Jadon Sancho was fined £8,000 for breaking lockdown rules, and reflecting on that, Borussia Dortmund did say, that they're losing their patience with Jadon Sancho. They're losing their patience with Jadon Sancho and all of that. But I think, we're only the club now that are in for him. Chelsea have been in for him before. Liverpool have been in for him. There were stories quite a few weeks ago saying that he would open to going back to Manchester City because we've been struggling to meet Borussia Dortmund's asking price. But Pep Guardiola's distanced himself away from it. Sancho is a former Manchester City player. He endured 2 years with Manchester City. But the main explanation why he ended up departing City is because he did not get any first-team opportunities at Manchester City. And City, sold him for just £8 million. So Dortmund got him for next to nothing. And this has now been Jadon Sancho's 3rd season with Borussia Dortmund. And, analyse his performances in the few years he's been with them, his valuation has persistently grown. Sancho has got a contract with Dortmund until 2022. But there were stories coming out the other week, again, regarding the Jadon Sancho transfer saga, and this was stemming from Ian McGarry, and it was also stemming from Duncan Castles, and they both said that Jadon Sancho has agreed personal terms with Man United, and it says, he's agreed a 5-year contract at the football club worth around £140,000 a week, but no fee has yet come to an agreement, and it's Borussia Dortmund's asking price that seems to be the stumbling block. Obviously, back in February, there were stories coming out saying that Jadon Sancho had agreed almost every little detail of a move to Man United. It's just said the only thing that hadn't been agreed is the actual fee. So there you go. Fabrizio Romano has spoken about the Jadon Sancho transfer saga a few times. He did reveal a while back that we've been working on Jadon Sancho's contracts for quite some time. And we've also been in negotiations with his agent. We've already made a promise to Sancho that we are willing to offer him the number 7. do very, very well in number 7. You know, we have got number 7 vacant at the moment, and I've already outlined the reasons why I take Sancho at Man United is because he's well proven in the Premier League, very young still, and got a very, very good friendship with Marcus Rashford. We're looking at a few alternatives to Jadon Sancho because he is cheaper solutions than him. There's been stories coming out saying that we're looking at Ousmane Dembele from Barcelona. He'd be a much cheaper solution than Sancho. Maybe we could get Ousmane Dembele for maybe around 40 or maybe 50 million pounds. That's still far cheaper than Jadon Sancho. My only element of concern about Ousmane Dembele is that he's injury prone. Sustained a lot of injuries, you know, since he became a Barcelona player. This has been, you know, Ousmane Dembele's 3rd season with Barcelona. Barcelona got him in 2017 from Dortmund. I think Barcelona paid around 96 million up front. I think it was like 40 odd million in add-ons. So the deal was actually, you know, worth around 135 million. So Ousmane Dembele is on that list as one of the most expensive signings. I still think he's got a few years left on his contract with Barcelona. You know, Liverpool have also been in for Ousmane Dembele before. So he's one of the alternatives, you know, to Jadon Sancho. So, yeah, so we are still looking to get Jadon Sancho on the board. You obviously know the news on Jack Grealish. You know, he's one of our priority targets. He's Jack Grealish. He's one of our priority targets. Jack Grealish, don't forget, is valued at around £50 million. Villa revealed their asking price a while back, and it said, you know, they do want around £80 million for Jack Grealish, but Villa are not going to get that for Jack Grealish. This morning, by the way, I give you the news, didn't I, on Ben Chilwell from Leicester. It actually, you know, does say that we're set to battle Chelsea and City for his signature. Reportedly, Ben Chilwell is valued at around £60 million. So yeah, he's another player on our agenda. But you know, we're looking to make around 2 or 3 signings in the summer transfer window. I think, you know, next season our expectations will be to challenge for the title. Because this has been the 7th season now, we have failed to mount any kind of title challenge up, and you know, we haven't won the Premier League since 2013. So the last time we won it was in Alex Ferguson's last season. But like I've said before, I'm very, very convinced that we can get our 21st title under Solskjaer. You know, I'm very, very convinced, you know, we can do this at some point. You know, we're going now in the right direction under Solskjaer, we really, really are. And at one point, I didn't think his managerial tenure was going to work out. Because earlier on in the season, Solskjaer was under so much pressure. You know, earlier on in the season, we'd enjoyed our worst start to a Premier League season for 30 years. And just the results, basically, you know, just weren't going our way. And Solskjaer was like probably 1 game away from getting the sack. But I've already given you the main explanations why Ole Gunnar Solskjaer did not get sacked as Manchester United manager. You know, he's now been at the football club 18 months. You know, like I said, you know, Solskjaer is going to be here next season. Even if we don't get qualification for the Champions League, he's going to be here next season because he needs another season because it is a transition period, and it has been a transition period for a while. You know, Solskjaer's brought 5 players into the football club so far and spent just over £200 million on them. And like I said, I've seen improvements under him. You know, our recruitment's really, really improved under him. Like I said, he's promoted the youth very, very well as Solskjaer. Like I said, our record against the top 6 sides this season's been very, very good because we've taken 18 points against the top 6 sides this season. He's also got rid of a lot of the deadwood since he got recommended into the football club. I think, is it over 20 players or something now that have left, you know, since Solskjaer came in. Obviously, you know, a lot of players' contracts have been extended as well since he came into the football club. A lot of players' contracts have been extended. We still face a dilemma with the contracts because I think we've got around, 8 players' contracts that are due to expire next year. So Solskjaer's got to make a decision on them. And Solskjaer, I think now, has he got just under 2 years left on his contract, because when he got the job permanently in March last year, he signed a 3-year contract with Manchester United. You know, the main explanation why we give Solskjaer the job permanently was reflecting on what he did in that 3-month period when he was the interim manager. But the vast majority of this team is not Solskjaer's. Like I said, there's only 5 players that are his. You know, like I said, he's inheriting players even from the Jose Mourinho era. He's inheriting some players even from the Van Gaal era. And he's still mattering from the Moyes era. You know, there's still some couple of players even from the Alex Ferguson era. So let's just put that into the equation. But actually, the vast majority of this team is Jose Mourinho's and all of that. And but yeah, it's really good to see that we've been in a good vein of form. And I have been getting glimpses of the Alex Ferguson days. You know, like I said, I don't think anyone will replicate Ferguson's legacy at Man United. I don't think anyone will last as long as Ferguson did. But I think we can be back being competitive under Solskjaer. You know, Ferguson, like I said, enjoyed 26 years at Man United. You know, enjoyed 22 years of success, because don't forget, he didn't win out in his first 4 years at the football club. Alex Ferguson didn't win out in his first 4 years, but he did win a total of 38 major honours, did Alex Ferguson, including 13 Premier League titles. But since his retirement in 2013, we have been playing catch-up for the last 7 years. You know, like I said, we've had different managers with different philosophies. We spent close to the £1 billion range on players. And, you know, we've recruited over 30-odd players in since the Ferguson era. Like I said, you know, Moyes brought 2 players in. That was Fellaini and Mata. You know, Fellaini's no longer at the football club now, though. He left in January 2019. He was the first player to leave Man United under Solskjaer, but Mata's still here. Like I said, Van Gaal, he brought a good, 16 players in. He brought likes of Schneiderlin in, Sebastian Schweinsteiger, Angel Di Maria, Falcao, Daley Blind, Rojo, Darmian, Martial, Shaw, Herrera, Romero. You know, Van Gaal brought a lot of players in, but the vast majority of the players he brought in anyway have now left the football club. And like I said, Mourinho, he recommended 11 players into the club, and there's only a few that have left who Jose Mourinho brought in. So yeah, so we've recruited over 30-odd players in. That also includes who we've brought in so far under Solskjaer. But people will say, reflects on the money that we've spent, you know, we should be, you know, where Liverpool are, or minimum, you know, where Manchester City are. And all of that. And, you know, yeah, and we have had different managers with different philosophies. You know, 3 managers have been sacked since the Ferguson era, and that was David Moyes, Louis van Gaal, and Jose Mourinho. And like I've said before, we haven't really got the structure to keep sacking managers. You know, we haven't got the structure to keep sacking managers and that. We haven't. And like I said, you know, we've got long-serving players now at the football club. We have got long-serving players now at the football club, and we've also had long-serving players at the football club. You know, we've got Juan Mata now. This has been his 6th season at Man United. You know, being a long-servant Martial. This has been his 5th season at the football club. You know, you've got Jones. This has been Phil Jones' 9th season at Manchester United. You know, you got David De Gea, you know, this has been his 9th season at Manchester United. You got Luke Shaw, this has been his 6th season at the football club. You know, you've got Rashford, that's been here for several years. You know, so there's quite a few long-serving players still at the Man United. You know, Young, he left in January to go to Inter Milan, but he enjoyed 8.5 years with us. Valencia left last summer, you know, he enjoyed 10 years with us. So there you go. And we've also got players on big contracts at the football club as well. Obviously, our highest paid is David De Gea. You know, he's on 375 grand a week. Highest paid at the club, highest paid keeper in the world. You've got Maguire on 200 odd grand a week. You've got Lingard, is he on like, 100 grand a week? Martial, 200 odd grand a week. Rashford, 200 odd grand a week, something like that. Bruno Fernandes, he's on over £100,000 a week. Pogba, he's on like 290 grand a week. So yeah, you know, we have got players on big contracts at the football club. Yes, we haven't that. And yeah, that's really everything to update you with today, guys. And like I said, in regards to Solskjaer, he has now gained managerial experience, reflecting on how long he's been with Manchester United. He's gained that managerial experience, which is good. Because, Man United is the third club in his managerial career, because before he was at us, he was at Molde, and before he was at Molde, he was at Cardiff. He watched some of this team this day and age grow and develop, did Solskjaer anyway, because he managed the Manchester United reserve team from 2008 to 2010. But yeah. But it's really, really good the way the team are progressing now, and it's good to see that we're now scoring goals, players are improving. We defensively also look better. Our football looks more expansive. I've wanted to see this, really since the start of the season. But yeah. So anyway, guys, now I'm going. That's everything to update today. Drop your comments, like, explore on the channel. If you do, consider subscribe as always, and take care. God bless. See you all again very, very soon.